everybody, thanks for coming back to join on the channel today. My name is Elena. If you're new here, thank you so much for being here with me today. This video idea came from my friend Karina, and shout out to you, Karina, if you're watching. I wanted to share the ways that I stick to my goals and what I do when I fall off track. So, of course, many of us kind of set goals in the new year. We come up with all these ideas of these things that we want to accomplish and how we're going to get them done. But usually within the first few weeks of the year, we fall off those goals and we don't stick to them for the rest of the year. I was kind of determined going into this year to set habits that I would be able to realistically stick to throughout the entire year, or at least to the best of my ability. So if you've been having a hard time sticking to the goals that you've set for yourself this year, or if you have fallen off of those goals and want to get back on track, you're in the right place. This is the video for you. This can apply to any of the habits that you've chosen, perhaps working out, eating a little bit better, getting a consistent sleep routine, building intentional, healthy habits, or starting a new hobby. The first thing that I'd like to mention here is that I don't always stay on track. It's really easy to look at somebody on a screen and assume that they have their life together just because it looks like it in their videos. But let me tell you that I've already had multiple days this year that I have not stuck to my habits. And I am working towards those constantly to get back on track. The number one thing I can advise you to do that I am working on in myself is not to beat yourself up when you fall off your habits. If you miss a day, let it just be one day and get back on track. By beating yourself up when you fall off of your habits, it makes it a lot harder to get back on track and sometimes even impossible, because then you're just day by day making yourself feel worse about getting off track. Then your mind starts believing that if you fall off track again, you're just going to feel guilty about it. And so often you don't want to get back on track at all because you know that ultimately you're going to miss a day here or there because of just regular life things. By being kind to yourself when you fall off track, it allows you to get back on track a little bit easier. Now, this next one is advice for when you really don't feel like doing the thing, and that is to just start somewhere, anywhere, literally 5 minutes. And I think I've talked about this in a lot of my previous videos, to just do the dang thing and just start. This is important for getting back on track as well as starting a habit, because if you can just dedicate 5 minutes to the task, you'll probably end up doing it a little bit longer. This is a great way to start building the habit from a habit that you have not established at all. For example, let's think about your ultimate goal. Let's say your goal is to work out 5 days a week for an hour every single day. But right now, maybe you're working out 0 days a week for 0 minutes every single day. So it's not realistic to go ahead and jump into working out an hour every day, 5 days a week when you haven't been doing it. That's not going to be sustainable and you're not going to stick with it. I'm just being real. So instead, what I want to advise you to do is work out 2 or 3 days a week for 5 to 10 minutes a day. And as you build that habit and get consistent with that, you can increase the time and increase the amount of days you're doing it over time. For me, this has been something I've been really trying to implement by literally just working out 5 minutes a day. By telling myself I'm just going to do it for 5 minutes, I get up and I start doing the thing. And after those 5 or 10 minutes, I might work out 30 or I might just stop at 5. But either way, I've still worked out and I've still continued to build the habit. Let's say that you really want to wake up at 5 a.m., but right now you're waking up at like 8 a.m. My advice for you is to not wake up at 5 a.m. on the first day, but instead try to slowly get there by waking up at 7:30, then 7, 6:36, 5:30, then 5. And eventually you would have built yourself to that habit over time, and it'll be more sustainable for you. This next one is my advice for when you're struggling to stick to it. And this is kind of built on the Atomic Habits book. If you have not read that book, I definitely recommend it. It is one of my all-time favorite books. It is so good. But build a system around whatever it is that you're working on. Based on the book, I would like to say this to you, which is make it easy. You have to make the habit easy enough for you to want to do it. Put your workout shoes next to your bed, or lay out your clothes the day before. Perhaps you allow yourself to have your favorite coffee or drink first thing in the morning, and that helps you get out of bed. The easier that you make the task for yourself, the more likely you are going to be able to stick to it. This next advice is if you're feeling overwhelmed by all of your ambitions that you have, which let me tell you, this is me probably every single day. My advice for you is that one is better than none. So if you're going to start building good habits, start with just one. One habit is a little bit more sustainable, a little bit easier to stick to than trying out 10 habits all at once. It's better to do one habit consistently than none not consistently. And according to the Atomic Habits book we just talked about a little while ago, you can always habit stack later. So you can stack more habits on top of other habits, but let's start with just one. We got to have something to build off of. So start with that and we'll build from there. If you can't decide when you want to do something, this next advice should be able to help you. Structure and routines help so much for this. And if you're not a structured or routine person, my advice for you on this would be to build in a time of day that you're going to do it. And that could look like maybe working out somewhere in your morning or somewhere in your evening routine, but not having an exact time for it. You could do this with literally anything. This could be saying that I'm going to wake up sometime between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. And if it's somewhere between there, you accomplished your goal. Trust me on this one. If you say that you're going to do it, but you don't have a plan or any structure of when, where, or how, you're probably not going to do it. So if you tell yourself, I'm going to work out tomorrow, but you don't have an idea of what kind of workout you're doing, where you're doing your workout, when you're doing your workout, you're not going to do your workout. The last one I want to share with you is, if it sounds boring, here's the advice. Have fun at whatever you're doing. If you're not having fun at your habit, I promise you it's not going to be sustainable in the long run. If you hate what you're doing, you're not going to stick to it. So find something that you love. For example, if you're looking at different workouts, find a workout that really speaks to you and one that you'll be able to stick to long term that's really enjoyable. Perhaps that's working out with friends or putting on a workout outfit that you just love to wear. This could also be true for habits like cleaning. If I'm really not feeling like cleaning, then I'll just put on one of my favorite songs so I can jam out while I'm cleaning, and it helps me stick to it so much. The last thing I'd like to leave you with today is a little bit of encouragement that do everything that you do for the glory of God. Whether it's cleaning up, working out, doing your job the right way that you're supposed to, we can really honor God through our commitments and through the things that we follow through with. God is glorified through our hard work, and so you can use that to remind yourself why hard work is so important. Do everything that you do for the glory of God. I know God is proud of the things that you're doing and the things that you're trying to do, and I'm also really proud of you. So thank you for coming to join this video today. Hopefully you got something out of it. Hopefully these hacks will help you in your daily life. And I just want to say thank you for being here. I know it takes time out of your day to watch these videos, and so I really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave your comments down below to let me know what helps you stick to your habits and what do you do when you fall off your habits. Hit that subscribe button if you have not already and join our little family over here. I really enjoyed spending this time with you, and I'll see you next week.